going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Milestone Sports and Piano channel. Today, we're going to be talking about NFL offseason moves that have to be made. There are a lot of moves that have to be made this offseason. There are a lot of rumors going around about Russell Wilson saying, I don't like it in Seattle, or Dak Prescott's angry that he wasn't in the Dallas Cowboys hype video. So we're going to be talking about that stuff and more. Before we get into today's video, I want to say a great thanks to our sponsor. That subscribe button, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. If you don't know how, you're watching this video, you see me, you see my background. On the bottom right, you see a little image that has a subscribe, the word subscribe on it. That's how you can subscribe. You tap on it, see if you're subscribed, and if you haven't, just tap on the subscribe. YouTube sometimes glitches and unsubscribes you, so if you think you're subscribed, please double check. Now, our first team that we're going to be taking a closer look at is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know, how could they have something wrong about their team? It's their offensive line. Tom Brady got sacked a lot. He threw quite a bit of interceptions because of his offensive line. There were tipped passes. He was sacked a lot. There were some fumbles. The team wasn't doing so great this year. So they need a better offensive line. The Chiefs, they need a better set of linebackers. People are saying, hey, they barely got to Tom Brady. Or they barely get to anybody. Their defensive line is really good. They have Chris Jones, they have Frank Clark, they have a lot of guys who are really good. But their linebackers, no, they're not underrated because nobody talks about them. They're just not good. They rarely get any interceptions, and they don't really do very much when it comes to sacking the quarterback. Kansas City, Andy Reid, and all the Chiefs organization, you gotta step up your game on the linebacker standpoint. Cowboys, you need to draft wide receivers. I cannot stress this enough, Dallas. You have Dak Prescott. He's great and all, but you need receivers for him to pass to. The best guy you had was D.D. Lamb. And is that good? He's a rookie wide receiver. You had Michael Gallup. You had Amari Cooper. But they didn't play good. You need to step up your game in the draft. You could even get another quarterback because Dak Prescott's angry that he's not in the hype video. He could leave. You have to prepare for the future. Dak Prescott's not going to be there forever. He already had a really bad injury. You never know. He's weak. He can have another injury if you know. You never know. Now the Eagles. You need to make a decision on your quarterback. I mean, do you want Jalen Hurts as your starter? Or do you want Carson Wentz as your starter? They're both good, but Jalen Hurts, I gotta say, he should be your starter. Carson Wentz just wasn't amounting to much. He had that one good year, and you gave him a max contract. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Philadelphia? You have to get rid of him. Jalen Hurts is the future. And plus, he'll get a lot of cap space and a lot of money back. Seattle. You need a way better offensive line. Russell Wilson saying, I'm getting hit too much. Oh, I'm getting so many sacks. He's had the most sacks since 1970 in his first 9 seasons. Like 368. He's been sacked 368 times. You need to draft offensive linemen. You need to trade for offensive linemen. You need better offensive linemen. They're all getting injured. None of them are Pro Bowlers. The only time you had Pro Bowlers from your offensive line standpoint was when you won the Super Bowl and when you went to New England Patriots in the game and lost. You know, when you didn't run it to Marshawn Lynch. I hope you remember that in your future. Now the Pats. You need to trade for a better quarterback. Cam Newton will not do. He's already going to leave. There are already trade rumors. Come on. New England. You had Tom Brady. He had a great legacy. Now you need to start off from scratch. You could even draft a quarterback. I mean, there are good quarterbacks coming into the draft, and you're a high draft choice. So, yeah, you got to get a quarterback. Packers, you need a better secondary. I cannot stress this enough. Losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when you were high favorites. You can't lose to the Buccaneers in the championship game at your home stadium in low temperatures. You cannot lose. You can't lose to a warm weather team in your favorable cold conditions. You need a better secondary. They got a lot of touchdowns and free plays. They got tons of great plays on you. Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, they were all just gaining on you. Next is the Steelers. You need a new quarterback. You can't just say, oh, Ben Roethlisberger is going to be with us forever like Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls. Ben Roethlisberger is not good. I cannot stress this enough to you, Pittsburgh. He is horrible. He is horrible. And I know you're all going to be like, whatever. But he's bad. You need someone new. You need the future. Now, Las Vegas. There are a lot of things bad on your team. You need to fix that. But also, you need a better offensive line. You need less penalties. You need better stuff. You just need stuff, you know? You just need stuff. Your wide receivers are bad. I mean, that's actually the only good part of your team. You got some good receivers. Henry Ruggs and Nelson Aguilar. But other than that, O-line bad. Penalties bad. Defense bad. Everything bad. Bad. Just do some trades. That's all. 49ers. You need to make a decision on your QB. Jimmy Garoppolo was playing very bad and he got injured. He's not going to be 100%. When you suffer those kind of injuries, you're not ever going to be 100%. Now, the Bears. You need a better O-line. Mitch Trubisky was having a good run at the end of the season. You can't just get rid of him. He needs to keep rolling. He made it to the playoffs for you. I know there are tons of haters out there about Mitch Trubisky, but you gotta respect him. He got the Bears to the playoffs. He had like a 4-game winning streak with them, and for the first time in like 50 years, they had 4 straight games with 30-plus points. And now, football team, Washington football team. You need a better O-line. You need a new QB. You need better receivers. Your whole offense is just horrible. It's just real bad, you know? It's just real bad. You need a better offense. Your defense is amazing. You have to compliment your defense from an offensive standpoint. You got Kyle Allen because you thought he'd do good. Bad. You had Dwayne Haskins. You thought he'd be the future. You got rid of him. He's now on the Steelers for some reason. And, I mean, your receivers. The one good guy, I can't even remember his name. You just need to fix your team. Terry McLaurin is his name. Terry McLaurin. Your tight end is okay, Logan Thomas. But you need more receivers. You can't just have one receiver and one tight end. Okay, Miami. Tua shined because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got them to the situation. Tua just had to play good. But Ryan Fitzpatrick's like, you know what? I don't want to be a backup. I mean, I have way better things to do. I can go to the Jets. I can go anywhere I want. They'll accept me. I proved myself. But Tua, come on, you need to work on your game. You're trash. You only had a winning record because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. You got injured. You broke your thumb. I don't care what happened, but you're trash, Tua. I don't want to be toxic or anything, but you're not very good. You have to fix yourself. The Dolphins need you. Their whole team is amazing, but you're the one bad part of your team. Miami. Do you really want Tua Tagovailoa? I mean, in his last few games, sure, he won a couple games, but he lost to the Denver Broncos. You had a winning record. He basically cost. You could have gone to the playoffs. And the Bills, they barely started. Oh my God. I'm stuttering because of this. The Bills got their starters out in the third quarter, and you couldn't even amount to another touchdown. You need a better QB. Wow, that one ran a little bit long. Now it's almost 10 minutes. Like 3 minutes of just yelling at Tua. Now the Giants. You need better receivers. I only remember one of your receivers' names. Sterling Shepard. And Daniel Jones, there are a lot of haters about him. But he's not a bad quarterback. He just doesn't have enough talent surrounding him. Wayne Gallman, he played great. I mean, he was probably the best receiver on their team for like the last 5 weeks. He played an outstanding. Wow, I'm just stuttering because of all the bad decisions these teams have made, you know? They have to fix themselves. Now, the Browns, they're probably the only team who doesn't really need to change. They made it to the playoffs. I mean, Kevin Stefanski, I mean, he deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, he literally led the Browns from 0-16, like 3 years ago, to the playoffs, beating the Steelers, who were undefeated in like the first 11 weeks. Respect, my man. I mean, wow. Now, the final team of the day is the Minnesota Vikings. There are a lot of things bad about the Minnesota Vikings. It did cost another 10 minutes of this video, and I do not want to waste your precious time. But you need a better O-line. You need a better QB. You need better everything. I'm sorry, Minnesota. I'm sorry, Vikings fans, but it's the truth and you know it. You need better draft choices. Kirk Cousins, bad. O-line, bad. Maybe Kirk Cousins is okay compared to his offensive line. I mean, you need a better quarterback. I mean, there are so many players out there on the trade list. Even Sam Darnold would do. He played great in the last 3 weeks of the season. You need somebody else besides Kirk Cousins. I mean, you could keep him. And if you just get a better offensive line, you'll be perfectly fine. But I'm sorry, Minnesota Vikings fans. But Minnesota, come on. This whole organization, you need better players. Kirk Cousins wasting his career here. I'm not saying he's a good quarterback, and I'm not saying anybody would want him. But he's wasting his entire career in Minnesota. They're losing every single playoff game they go to. And when they had that special run, he wasn't even there. They beat the Saints last year. Not this year, last year. So what? I mean, so what? Come on. The Saints are just bad in the playoffs. Everybody knows that. And they lost the following week. I'm sorry that I've wasted 12 minutes of your precious time. But, come on. I mean, there's so many good players going out there in the trade deadline. You gotta guess. New York. Both New York teams. Everybody needs a new quarterback, and there are so many guys out there. You need to fix yourselves. To be honest, I don't want to yell at these NFL teams because I don't want to get sued. But you have to fix yourselves, okay? You need better quarterbacks. Your team revolves around a good quarterback. If you have a bad quarterback, then you're a bad team. Because good players can't play good if they don't have a good quarterback. Quarterbacks make most of the decisions nowadays. If your quarterback makes horrible decisions, then you're a horrible team. Of course, these guys made it to the NFL. And that means they're good. But they need to play good in the NFL to be good. They need to perform well in high school, perform well in college, and of course, perform well in the NFL. Okay, that's the end of the video, everybody. Please remember to subscribe. Put a like down below. We're on the road to 100 subscribers and hope to get there by 2022. Remember that subscribe button is on the bottom right of your screen. And if you tap it, it'll make me happy. It'll make my day. So, yeah. See everybody, and have a good day.